Revenge films.
I gave birth to a baby girl 6 months ago. I've been married for 3 years. I wanted to have a baby sooner, but in my work situation, it was difficult for me to take maternity leave and parental leave because of the shortage of staff. Some might say it's not my problem, but I owed this company that hired me in a bad job market, and I was having a hard time finding a job. Also, the people working there were nice, like family, and I couldn't really prioritize what I wanted. But finally, they found somebody to take over my position during my leave, so I was ready to get pregnant. If my job was a sit-down kind, I could have worked around, but my work required travels and visiting companies, and I needed to wait for the right moment. Once the work situation was organized, I got pregnant soon. My boss was amazed with it because it happened very fast. My husband, Jet, was happy too, and he took good care of me during my pregnancy. From there, the childbirth went smoothly, and I finally became a mother. A few months later, people at work visited us to see my baby. My boss told me not to worry about work, but to just focus on childcare. One day, Jet called me from work. He rarely called from work during the day, so I was a little worried. When I answered, he was unusually upset.
I know childcare is hard, but why are you taking the baby to my mom's place every day?
What? What is he talking about? I listened to his story anyway, which was bizarre.
Of course she loves her grandchild, but every day is too much, don't you think?
Hang on a second, I have no clue what you're talking about. I've never asked your mother to watch my baby, and she's right here now. Hold on, I'll turn the camera on. Then I showed him my baby on the phone. She's moving her arms and legs happily in her crib. Jet was in disbelief and said, "What the heck is going on?" That was exactly what I'm saying. He actually thought it a little strange when he heard about this from his mother because he knew I loved my baby like the apple of my eye. But it didn't make sense that his mother lied to him. He said sorry to me and that he was going to find out what's been happening. But it was strange. She might have been lied to by somebody, so I told him that I was coming over to my in-laws' house. He agreed and I went over with my baby. Once I was inside the house, I heard a baby's cry and my mother-in-law, Barbara, trying to stop it from crying. So it was true. When she saw me holding my baby in my arms, she was shocked. "What's going on?" And she looked at the two babies side by side. I told her what Jet had told me, and as she could see, I had never asked her to watch my baby. Barbara visited us once when the baby was born, but babies grow fast, and she believed it was her grandchild when she saw the other baby. Another thing was about Seth, who is the older brother of Jet. I asked where she got the idea that I asked her to watch my baby, and she mentioned Seth. Seth lived near his mother and told her that I brought my baby to his place every morning and left her there all day, so he wanted her to watch. She thought I was having postpartum depression and she could help a little bit, but it became a daily thing, so she talked to Jet about it. I was shocked to hear the story, but I told her that I'm very happy to take care of my baby every day and I enjoy it, and there was no way that I would just bring my baby somewhere and leave her there all day. After she heard me, she apologized profusely. From then on, it was fast. She called Jet to explain and clear the air, then she called Seth. Before Seth got here, she also called up Jet, Seth's wife Miranda, and they were also gathered. To prevent Seth from running away, she didn't tell him in detail, and he had no idea everybody was here. So when he came into the room, he turned pale to see all of us in the room. "Explain explain to us all, whose child have I been watching all this time?" When Barbara interrogated him, Seth came clean. Seth was having an affair and his mistress got pregnant and gave birth to a child. The mistress demanded that he be responsible and marry her when they were having an affair. Seth didn't do anything about it, and one day his mistress said she couldn't raise the child alone and asked him to watch the baby and left it at his. Worrying about Miranda finding out about it, also the baby was around the same age as my baby's age, he brought them to Barbara saying that it was my baby while planning the next step. But his action was full of holes. If one person gets suspicious, the whole thing would be revealed easily. Jet and I were astonished at his clumsy actions, and the in-laws were all furious. Miranda was especially shocked. They didn't even have their child yet. Yet Seth not only had an affair, but also had a child elsewhere? She went insane, but who could blame her? Seth's father was enraged and punched him in the face. It was such chaos. Seth called up his mistress and she showed up later on. By that time, Jet and I were excused to go home, having a baby with us and all. After that, Miranda filed for divorce. Seth's mistress was happy with their divorce, but Seth had no intention of being with her. He begged Miranda to take him back, and things were a mess. Miranda didn't change her mind, so Seth and the mistress were in debt for a large amount of compensation. Barbara and her husband were disappointed in Seth and told him not to come near their house again. Seth and the mistress didn't become together. Seth moved into an old apartment, worked and paid the debt, which included the legal fine to us. I was okay when the misunderstanding was cleared up, but Jet was hurt by his wife and child being used in the scheme and asked for damages. Seth and Miranda's child was to be raised by Miranda and her parents. Seth's parents accepted that, but it was complicated because the child was also their grandchild. Barbara apologized to me again for blaming me, but she watched the child because she thought that it was my baby. And above all, it was good this strange incident was resolved. Regarding Seth, since Miranda used to work for the same company as Seth, the rumor spread fast and, being isolated at work, he voluntarily resigned. He now works at a construction site and gas station, but he didn't get any sympathy from anyone.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.